WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight at 10. Things are calming down tonight, but the work week got off to a rough start for many across the viewing area. Several reported tornadoes roared through parts of Mississippi. One of those reports coming out of the Guntown area in Lee County. Emergency crews say more than 24 homes were damaged, some severely damaged, after a tornado barreled through town. One of the hardest hit areas was the neighborhood on Colt Lane. Emergency crews also say that Lighthouse Baptist Church was destroyed in that storm.
One blessing we can count out of this, it hit before the 5 o'clock crowd started getting home, and that saved lots and lots of injuries. So we're blessed in that way that it didn't hit after they all got home and were in their homes, because there's 50 to 60 homes that's got damage to them.
Yeah, definitely glad folks got home early tonight. Now, Smith says that they're not able to totally assess the damage until the morning. A shelter is also being open at the Guntown Community Center for those that were displaced by the tornado. Also there in Guntown, police there have put a curfew in place for the Guntown Hills subdivision. The curfew went into effect at 7 this evening and will remain in place until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. No one will be allowed in. Guntown police will evaluate the situation in the morning and consider an extension.
Radar picked up on 3 clear debris signatures on radar. The first one, 354, just to the northeast of Alpine in eastern Union County. And then that same storm complex moved over into northern Lee County. Right there, that big blue dot just to the northeast of Guntown, that was that debris from those homes, from those trees, from whatever, being lifted into the sky. And then we actually had a third one show up here just east or southeast of Tishomingo and Tishomingo County. So we, I think, have at least 3 tornadoes that touch down. We may have additional ones once the National Weather Service in Memphis goes out tomorrow and starts to survey things. But the roughest weather now pulling away from our area. We still have tornado-warned storms south of Birmingham, but for us, some lighter showers, some clouds. The wind is now switching around to the northwest, and we are cooling down. Still in the 60s in Columbus, West Point, Starkville. Tupelo, you are now down to 49. Oxford, Coffeyville in the upper 30s already. So mid to upper 30s northwest, lower 40s southeast tonight. Mainly cloudy tomorrow, only 44, 30 degrees colder than today. Your full forecast is coming up.
New developments tonight in a quadruple murder case out of Winona. Today, Circuit Court Judge Joseph Loper granted bail for Curtis Flowers. The bond amount is set at $250,000. Flowers was charged with the 1996 deaths of 4 people at Tardy Furniture. Our Quentin Smith was there as Flowers was released. Quentin, what was his reaction today?
Excited and lost for words. That's how Curtis Flowers says he felt after being released on bond today. Family members say they're excited to have him back home, and for some of them, this is their first time being able to physically touch or hug Flowers since he was arrested more than 20 years ago.
Oh, I don't know. I'm so excited right now. I can't even think straight.
Curtis Flowers walked out of the Winston County Correctional Facility Monday evening, locked arm in arm with family members and his attorneys standing behind him. While the Winona man says he's happy to be out and with his family, there's still one supporter he wishes he could share this moment with. His mother. She passed away while he was still behind bars.
She would probably be doing flips right now. Yes. She looked forward to this. Yeah, and she always knew it would come. She said she didn't know if she'd be here or not.
Flowers has been tried 6 times for the same crime. The deaths of 4 employees at Tardy Furniture Store in 1996. 2 of those trials ended in mistrials, and his 4 convictions have been overturned. His most recent conviction was overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court on the grounds that African Americans were unfairly kept off of the jury.
It's been rough. It's been rough. Yeah, we've been taking it one day at a time, you know, keeping God first, and I think that's how I got through it. I want to thank all of them, all the supporters, everything. Yeah, everyone.
For the first time in more than 20 years, Flowers will be able to spend the Christmas holidays with his family and friends. He said it's been a long time coming, and he already has plans on what he wants to do as soon as he gets home.
Oh, probably somewhere eating.
Any kind of food you missed? I mean,
yeah, we're gonna go fry fish.
Now, Flowers is required to wear an ankle monitor while he's out on bond. His attorneys, they're maintaining his innocence and said they will pursue having all charges dropped against the Winona man in 2020. WCBI reached out to the victims' families. They declined to give a comment. Scott?
All right, Quentin, thank you very much. New tonight at 10, 2 teenagers have been arrested in Louisville for vandalism. A 13 and 14-year-old were taken into police custody for allegedly spray painting cars and city property. Now the Louisville Police Department is stepping up patrols. Our Stephanie Poole has more on the story.
The emotions were all over the place, but I have to deal with it the way that I know to deal with it.
Gloria Jones is shocked and disgusted after finding racially charged graffiti on her car. The offensive message spray painted on the car door. Jones discovered the vandalism when she was getting ready to leave for work.
It's very heartbreaking to know that people will target you, and it's just, it's just unreal as the things that people will do to each other.
Louisville Police Chief Sean Holderness says investigators were able to quickly track down the alleged vandals. The can of spray paint used led officers to 2 juveniles.
There was a report of kids spray painting a street here in a residential area here in Louisville, and then officers were responded, and they apprehended or detained 2 juveniles with cans of spray paint, and after a brief interview with the 2 juveniles, a confession was made that they had done all the vandalism, including the cars and the street, of course.
Holderness says this crime is just one in a string of incidents throughout the town involving minors.
Well, we just have a rash of vandalism, burglaries, and other misdemeanor type crimes going on here in Louisville. It seems as though the majority of the crimes are being committed by juvenile offenders.
Holderness is also asking for help from parents and guardians.
We're in the police business, not the parenting business, and we'd appreciate that parents try to be more mindful of where their children are at all hours of the evening, because majority of these crimes are occurring when most children should be asleep.
Meanwhile, Joan hopes the teens accused of vandalizing her car will be forced to cover the cost of the damages.
Those of us that work jobs to have what we need, we should not be targeted for vandalism.
Reporting in Winston County, Stephanie Poole, WCBI News.
Both teenagers have been released from their parents' custody. Chief Holderness says that if you see any suspicious activity, to call your local law enforcement immediately. Well, time to send things back over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Keith, more like a spring, stormy day, and now Old Man Winter trying to make a return.
Hey, and you know what? Winter officially begins Saturday, so we should be transitioning into some colder weather. But I don't know how our four-legged friends are liking this. We were in the 70s today. There's Shelby getting ready for a cool day tomorrow. Highs only in the 40s. A lot of cloud cover, breezy northwest winds. Get that big winter coat ready to go. I think the dog's ready to go with that big winter coat. Your full forecast is next.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
All right, no surprise that we would see some tornadoes in the region today. Let me start this again. No surprise we should see some tornadoes in the region on December 16th. We talked about this last week, the greatest odds of a tornado on this particular calendar day down here in the Deep South. And look at how things verify with Mother Nature. Right in the bullseye as far as the greatest tornado reports here. A lot of those south of I-20, but I think, had at least 3 across the northern parts of the area. The damage near Guntown, a little damage there near the Pratt's community, northeastern Lee County, and also some wind damage in Calhoun County. The National Weather Service in Memphis will be out exploring things tomorrow, and we will have an update exactly what those tornadoes end up being rated and or straight line wind damage. We'll just wait and see. All right, temperatures currently in the 60s and 50s locally, quickly cooling into the 40s and 30s back to the northwest. So you will need your winter coat. Already down into the 40s for you in Tupelo. You'll need that winter coat tomorrow. Still spring-like weather in the Columbus area, 64 degrees, but that wind is switching around. It will pick up and we'll see our temperatures fall. 60s in Vernon at Durham's Pharmacy, Louisville, Mississippi, rain showers. And in the 60s, a bit breezy too. So still some showers across our region, but this is not too terribly heavy. The severe weather threat obviously well off to our east, and we are still looking at tornado-warned storms over here near central Alabama, and actually confirmed tornadoes on the ground at this very minute across central Alabama, but that is moving away from our area, thankfully. Anywhere from a trace to 1 to 2 or 3 inches of rain in our region today with these heavy showers and storms. So rainfall amounts varying, but some of you picking up several inches of rain out there. There's actually a big winter storm going on the northern side of this. We've had the storms move on through, and now we have much cooler air coming our way. So get ready for the cold weather tomorrow. 44 degrees, that wind from the northwest. It will be just like winter with those winds, the clouds, about 30 degrees cooler than what we had today. So the rain's on the way out, but the cloud cover will stay with us tonight and for a good chunk of tomorrow. Now, as we get into tomorrow afternoon, we'll start to see those clouds thin out. We'll go clear tomorrow night and get down into the 20s. High pressure builds back in for the middle of the week, and that just means abundant sunshine here for your Wednesday and Thursday. Then we'll start to see another chance for some showers here as we get into your Friday. Here's your AccuWeather 70 forecast. 44 tomorrow, 27 tomorrow night, 49 lots of sun Wednesday, 53 lots of sun on Thursday, lows in the 20s there midweek. As we get into your Friday, the weekend, and early next week, well, we'll still see some 50s for your weekend, a chance for some showers. We'll be fine-tuning that, so you may have to dodge some raindrops for some holiday shopping early next week, including Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, just off that 7-day sky. Still partly cloudy, probably still in the 60s, and at this point, I'm pretty confident we'll have a quiet holiday this year.
Also, at this point, that Christmas shopping that list better be dwindling.
I haven't even started.
Oh gosh, Amazon, you better hop to it.
I don't know what I'm going to do. Gift cards, maybe?
We'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Thank you.
Pressure's building.
It is. Thank you very much, Keith. Well, bowl games, women's basketball, and baseball preseason. Courtney Robb has all of that coming up a little bit later in sports.
Watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. As you get ready to hit the road this holiday season, you might want to think twice before getting behind the wheel if you've had too much to drink. We learn more tonight in our Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Lee Richardson, a physician in the emergency room at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. Tonight I want to discuss the dangers of drinking and driving. Drunk driving is a serious problem in the United States. Getting behind the wheel of any motorized vehicle after consuming alcohol is a serious crime. According to the CDC, there is a drunk driving related death every 51 minutes in the United States. Driving under the influence involves operating a vehicle with a blood alcohol level of at least 0.08%. However, even a small amount of alcohol can lead to harmful situations. It takes about 30 minutes to 2 hours for alcohol to be absorbed into your bloodstream. During this time, your breathing may slow down and your cognitive skills may be delayed. Because of this, it is always dangerous to drink and drive. Any amount of alcohol in your bloodstream can affect your driving ability. Here are the main ways that alcohol impairs your driving skills. Slows reaction time. Alcohol affects how quickly you're able to respond to different situations, such as someone slamming on their brakes suddenly in front of you. Reduces coordination. Drinking affects motor skills such as eye, hand, and foot coordination, so you may not be able to avoid an impending harmful situation. Reduces concentration. Alcohol, no matter the amount, dramatically reduces your attention span, making it harder to control your speed, traffic signals, and staying in the correct lane. Inhibits judgment. Alcohol can affect your ability to foresee potential problems and make clear decisions. Join us next time for a Health Talk with Baptist, when we will discuss the dangers of distracted driving.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
Preparations are underway for the Mississippi State Bulldogs with the Music City Bowl approaching. More on the Bulldogs when we come back.
WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
By the time the Mississippi State Bulldogs take the field for the Music City Bowl, it will have been a grand total of 33 days since State has played a football game. There's two ways to look at the time off. Either it's a good thing or a bad thing. MSU head coach Joe Moorhead saying the extra time off falls more on the beneficial side of things. The 30-plus days allowing the Bulldogs to do more than just prepare for Louisville. Take a listen.
It's great because you can have a twofold focus where you want to get the work of the young kids, developing them, but at the same time, concentrating on bowl preparation. So today and tomorrow are just going to be strictly developmental practices. We'll game plan tomorrow, and then all day Sunday, and then Monday when we come in, that'll be first and second down day for Louisville, and also in conjunction with developmental stuff. So that's kind of we talked about just changing up the practice schedule a little bit.
A week ago, head coach Lane Kiffin was officially introduced at Ole Miss. As of today, Kiffin adds 2 more coaches to his staff. Ole Miss Athletics announcing the additions of offensive line coach Randy Clements and special teams coordinator Blake Gideon. Clements joins Kiffin's staff after spending 1 year as an offensive line coach at Florida State, and Gideon comes to Oxford after a year as Houston's special teams coordinator. It might still feel as if baseball season is forever away. However, with Mississippi State's first matchup on February 14th, the 2020 season is just around the corner, which means it's not too early to start talking about preseason rankings. Under second-year head coach Chris Lemonis, the Diamond Dogs tabbed as the 6th-ranked squad in the nation according to Collegiate Baseball's preseason poll. It marks the highest preseason ranking for the Bulldogs since being the 2nd-ranked team back in 2014. Again, Mississippi State begins the 2020 season on February 14th, the game at Dudy Noble against Wright State. After suffering 2 straight losses for the first time since 2017, Mississippi State head coach Vic Schaefer calling out his team's immaturity. Coach Schaefer also saying that the Bulldogs' next few games would be indicative of the past week of practice and simply if his team could make the corrections and stop losing one-possession games. First up on the road stretch, the Bulldogs beginning in Lafayette, Louisiana, taking on the Ragin' Cajuns. First quarter, 2.5 to go. Guard Jordan Danbury in transition, pulls up, drains it. MSU goes up 8-6. A minute later in the matchup, center Yamaya Morris in the paint, fighting her way inside, gets it to go. It's 10-9 Bulldogs. Second quarter for Jessica Carter, putting in some work down low, fights off the glass. It's all tied up at 15. 3 minutes in the half. Forward Rakia Jackson this time. She's inside and fighting for her rebound. Gets it. MSU up 23-18. A few seconds left in the half. Forward Chloe Bibby with the offensive rebound. Out to guard Andrea Espinoza-Hunter. Bottoms. Mississippi State leads 30-25 at halftime. About midway through the third, guard Maya Taylor driving, lays it in. Bulldogs leading 34-27. A minute in the third, Espinoza-Hunter from downtown, nothing but net. MSU up 46-35. In fourth quarter, under 7, Bibby pulls up, drains it. Makes it 48-40 for the Bulldogs. 3.5 remaining. Off the inbounds pass, Carter with the short J. MSU up 55-46. And 2 minutes to go. Bibby from the corner for 3. Bottoms. Mississippi State snaps its 2-game losing streak with a 64-48 win against Louisiana. Next up, the Bulldogs head to Las Vegas for the Duel in the Desert tournament. The first matchup is to South Florida on Thursday. Some more women's basketball action from this afternoon. While Mississippi State was snapping a 2-game losing streak, Ole Miss was snapping a 3-game losing streak. The Rebels getting the win over Georgia Southern in overtime, 69-66. Guard Valerie Nesbitt leading the way for Ole Miss with 16 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Next up for the Rebels, Ole Miss plays host to Louisiana that we just saw against Mississippi State. That game will be Friday, December 20th. So, Scott, lots of action from today. A lot more action coming up throughout the week. It's December, so we're officially in the heat of basketball season.
I'm kind of wishing we could go to Vegas with the Bulldogs.
Ooh, you want to?
Like, I'm down. I'm totally down.
Let's go.
All right, thanks, Courtney. Well, let's look at your forecast when we come back.
Tomorrow, about 30 degrees cooler. Get your winter coat ready to go. It's still that season. A lot of sunshine Wednesday and Thursday. A few more showers possible by Friday and the weekend.
You got that Chicago coat?
I do. It's in my car. It's getting ready to go home with me.
I'm telling you, this Mississippi temperatures is like whiplash around here.
It's about 20 degrees up there, so I'll take the 40.
I'll take it too. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.